So I want to continue on this kind of video series. The Yankees need to decide whether they're going to be buyers or sellers, right? But and I think the reality is here, and it doesn't make any sense to not acknowledge it, that they're going to have to go all out one way or the other. There is no one play. Like Joey Gallo is not going to change things around. Okay? Neither is Joey Gallo and Kyle Gibson. It's just not. Neither is Ketel Marte. Neither is Brian Reynolds. They need multiple pieces. As a buyer, they need multiple activities as a seller. So that's why I mentioned Aaron Judge. That's why I mentioned some other guys like Luke Voigt and some other folks. The only person I would not trade right now, unless it was bowled away by an offer, would be Gleyber Torres, because his value is a bit lower. And generally, you want to sell young guys with that much talent and that much recent production at as high as you possibly can. So what do the Yankees do? I mean, they've called up these young kids, Park and Amburgey, and Gittins is back up, and this Rob Brantley, and this some hopefully Estevan Florial gets an opportunity as well. Greg Allen's up here too, so a lot of new energy, a lot of young, aggressive players and kind of fearless players. So it'll give us an idea of how well they represent the team, how good of a fit they are, and whether they can be part of the new team's personality. Because right now at this point, the Yankees need a new team kind of personality, a new team heart, and a new team direction. And as much as a lot of folks don't want to acknowledge it or admit it, it's true. Okay, again, there are multiple moves away, and I don't see them significantly going over the $210 million threshold at all. And I think they know this too. I think that's why Halbrun had to kind of give the lip service, saying, "Well, we're willing to go over it if we need to." He knows that they're going to have to make multiple moves and blow past it. Okay, he knows it. So does Cashman. So does everybody else. Okay, and the other consideration is, with the guys that we have injured coming back, and I know there's 6 guys on COVID list now, and Luke Voigt's on the IL. Who else do they have coming back? They have Luis Severino, Corey Kluber, right? What can they expect from those 3 guys? We don't know. And I think, notwithstanding Corey Kluber's no-hitter, he's kind of out of a wash of a season, and he's shown that he can't stay healthy, unfortunately, which stinks, but, if he comes back for a little bit and is productive, great. I don't think he'll be re-signed, but it is what it is. Luke Voigt needs to be able to stay healthy. I know these are kind of freak injuries, bone bruise to the knee and stuff like that. It's not hamstring and groin and stuff, but even so, he's got to show the penchant for staying healthy. So, and Luis Severino, we have no idea what to expect from the guy. And I've said this repeatedly. I do not think it's a good idea to put him, and whenever he comes back this year, do not put him in the starting rotation. Okay? I think it would be a foolish thing to do. You start him in long relief, and you build him back up that way. Even if he gives you 2 or 3 dominant innings, that's fine. If you can move Britton, if you can move Chapman, I know it'll be hard because they're both pricey, but you might be able to move one of them in a trade to recoup some salary, maybe get some prospects back. You might be able to move Voigt. And again, the elephant in the room, the prize of the whole thing is Aaron Judge, but he's now made it more difficult for Yankees to do anything being positive for COVID. So, obviously, Gio, we've got Wandy on there, we've got Nestor on there, we got quite a few guys on the list, which stinks, but that's the reality right now, and they have to do a 10-day quarantine. So, and who knows what they're going to be like when they come back either. But so the Yankees are in a position now where, unfortunately, this flare-up happened, 2 weeks before the trading deadline, which makes things a lot more difficult, murkies up their situation. But if I were them, I'd be on the phone with the Cubs. I mean, you can sell and buy and kind of retool and kind of put a new personality, put a new face on the team, okay? And because they're not going to sell. I mean, they even can. Like, they had a nice little sell-off in 2016. They remain competitive, okay? They can sell pieces and still remain competitive. But the fact is, they're not as good as the Red Sox. They're not as good as the Rays. They're not as good as the Blue Jays, okay? So it makes sense to offload some pieces and get some prospects in return, okay? They need a lot of prospect capital. And again, some of those other prospects they could flip for other pieces. So, but there are guys out there to be had. And whether it's a left-handed batter or a switch-handed batter, they need more contact hitting, they need more athleticism, they need more guys that run well. Which where I'm glad Greg Allen's here and Amburgey and Park. These guys play small ball. They also run well. They hustle. They're good base runners, and we haven't shown that. And personally, right now at this point, the whole outfield, it should probably be Greg Allen, Trey Amburgey, and probably I don't know, Hong Park, or a Park playing in the infield, and with those guys in the outfield. So I would not be starting Brett Gardner. I have no idea why they are, but as much as I like him, and yeah, he's been here for a long time. He's a great legacy player, but at this point, those other guys are upgrading. We need to see what these guys have, right? We have to see what they have and whether any of them are capable enough of staying around and being contributors to this team. Otherwise, they have to move on, and they have to, hopefully, let them build up some value and you move them for somebody else. But at this point, they're at the situation now where it's got to be kind of an all or nothing type situation, because again, not one move is going to change it unless it's a gigantic multiple player blockbuster trade. I don't see anything really. And again, I like Gallo, but he's not going to change the whole team's record around and the whole team's direction. Neither is Jose Berrios. Neither is Kyle Gibson. Neither is Ketel Marte. Neither is Adam Frazier. So Adam Frazier and Rich Rodriguez would be a nice start, a really nice start, But yeah, Ketel Marte and Zach Gallen would be a nice start. I know the Arizona's Diamondbacks have said that they're probably not going to put him available, but if he gets blown away with an offer somewhere, or if they get blown away, I would imagine they'd move him. But there are other teams who can make better offers than the Yankees, unfortunately. So, but they have a good trading history with the Pittsburgh Pirates, which is why I can see a significant deal done. But again, they need more moves on top of that anyway. So, should they be buyers or should they be sellers? I don't think they should be one or the other for the most part. I think they should be both, and I've said this before. This is kind of a sequel to my last video. You can move a Judge, right? Get a haul for him and use some of those prospects to get a Ketel, to get Ketel and a Gallen or something like that. Get a Rich Rodriguez and an Adam Frazier and still have guys back. So, again, aside from Aaron Judge's 52 home run season, where he played 155 games, he has never played more than 112 games in a full season. And yes, he's a bona fide superstar when he's healthy and so on. When he's healthy. Okay? This could have been avoided, this COVID thing. It could have been avoided. But it wasn't. So it's just another thing to put the Yankees out for 2 more weeks. And probably in the toughest stretch or the worst potential time to do it. But that's the reality. So at this point, what do the Yankees do? Can Cashman even take advantage of it? I don't think you can move Judge now because he's probably unmovable with this situation. But it's unfortunate. But you can move Voit, and again, Voigt's on the IL, so he's kind of unmovable right now too. So this leaves the Yankees kind of hamstrung, which is why they had no choice but to call up a whole bunch of guys. And I hope that they contribute. I hope that they kind of can hang on to some of these teams while Gerrit Cole, hopefully keeps us in the game and pitches well like he did last time, and Taillon the same. Because right now it's pretty much Cole, Montgomery, maybe Taillon, and then everything else is stopping. What happened to Davey Garcia? Nothing. You can't even hack it in AAA right now, unfortunately. It stinks, but it's the reality. Domingo Germán's is a reliever now, or at least been acting as a reliever, been pitching like one. So Luis Severino still on rehab. We're looking on 2 years now. So and again, I wouldn't expect the same dominance as before. Kluber was out for 2 years. He started to pitch well, got hurt. I don't expect any different from Luis Severino, unfortunately. Even though he's much younger than Kluber, I don't expect much different. So, what should they do? What should they do? Who can they move now with so many guys on the IL? Right now, at this point, you could probably move 1 or 2 of the relievers and get a solid prospect return and start to reshuffle. And hopefully some of these guys come back strong, but I don't expect them to be big spenders, so big buyers. I don't expect them at all. So it makes more sense for them to sell as many pieces as they can. If the Cubs can move Chris Bryant, and they likely will, if the Diamondbacks can move Goldschmidt, if the Rockies can move Arenado, the Yankees can move Aaron Judge. Okay? This is not that complicated. I know a lot of people are very emotionally invested in him. I really like him. Okay? He's a great player. But, again, this is about the team, not one player. So, and I know people are getting sick of me. Certain folks are actually making comments saying they're sick of me talking about him. But what are they going to do? Give him $200 million, and then he can't play the field, and he has to go to be a DH? He's going to be blocked by Giancarlo Stanton at the DH. What are you going to do with him? especially when you pay him that much money. He's not a free agent. And this isn't the same thing as Stanton, okay? Yankees acquired Stanton when he was like 28 or 27, okay? The Marlins gave them $30 million cash. They also assumed Starlin Castro's contract. So it was kind of, and he was coming off like historic seasons and whatnot. And that made a little bit more sense, okay, at the time. It's unfortunate he hasn't been able to stay healthy for the most part either. But this is what happens. Look at our two biggest guys. Physically largest guys have not been able to stay healthy. So why would they make the same mistake again? Why? Doesn't make sense. So, this get some prospect players in here. Get some more relievers in exchange for relievers. Get some guys. And again, these trades, yes. Whenever you make a trade, the acquiring team, the team that's buying the big major league pieces, are obviously the immediate winners. And the other team acquiring the prospects are generally the long-term beneficiaries, for the most part, okay? Doesn't always work out, but that's kind of the logic of it. Of course, teams are paying for these superstars to be the immediate winner. That's, that's common sense. So, but it's time. This is the position. This is the opportunity for the Yankees to capitalize on this. And I really hope that they're not depending on Kluber and Severino and Voit to come back and reverse the Yankees' fortunes, because it's not going to happen. It's not. So let's move some guys. Get some prospect capital. Get some youth in here. Get some hunger in here, okay? The Yankees won't stay down for long. They might not even stay down moving guys. But they can get some dudes in here. And again, they need several guys. And that's just the bottom line. So, but the question is, should they sell? Should they buy? Should they do a little bit of both? And I've gotten some feedback from people. I appreciate all your comments and feedback in terms of what they should do. But give me your, 3 things, what they should do. Put them in the, give me specifics. What should they do? Okay? I've given mine. People have given their feedback. Give me some more of yours so I can give you some insight as well. So, and watch out for the recap tonight because it's coming. Talk to you later.